My issue, especially with Amapiano, is that Amapiano, especially with Kabza and Pori in particular, has given too much control to the major labels that distribute for them or market and promote them. And so what you see is that if you look at Piano Hub as a label, right? Kabza is the biggest guy in Piano Hub, right? Then there's your Youngstars, there's your TRPs, etc., that are also there but are not at the same level as Kabza. If you look at Pori New Money Gang, there's your ex-Dapi, etc., Abo Daliwonga and everything else, right? Now, with the dominance that Kelvin Momo is facing right now, you must know that Kelvin Momo's Ntsako, right, is the second most streamed album in Amapiano right now. It's the album he dropped last year. His current album is the fastest streaming or the fastest to get to 30 million streams in history or in South African history, in South Africa. And because of how Kabza and Pori have staggered their releases and slowed down their releases, Kelvin Momo has been able to outflank them. You must remember that Kelvin Momo released his first album under Piano Hub. When he left Piano Hub, he was now releasing on his own schedule. He was also maintaining the same schedule that Kabza and Pori had at the beginning of Piano Hub and New Money Gang. There was a point in time where they were releasing 5 or 6 albums a year, just themselves. You know what I mean? And then an odd or 1 or 2 Scorpion Kings joint albums. They've slowed down a lot. In fact, last year was the first year that you saw Kabza releasing a standalone single, that Kabza Chant. You know, he also dropped another single. It didn't last on the charts, these singles, because people don't want a single from a producer. A single is something that they want from a vocalist. When Mahu drops a single, the single does well because it's Mahu's single. Even if Mahu is featured on a single, because they're going there for Mahu, the single will do well. They don't need a whole entire album from her. But if you're a DJ producer, we need an entire album from you, and Tina So's Keteli single yet. That's the way the system works. The audience is now in control. So the labels love dictating. That's their doctrine, the major labels, whether it be Warner, Sony, Universal. They love dictating to the audience. They want to tell the audience, this is the song that we're pushing right now. This is the song that everyone should like right now. TikTok has changed all of that. We decide this is the star. We decide this is who we like. We decide this is the song that we're playing at midnight on whatever, on the 31st. We decide as the audience right now. So Kelvin Momo is chosen by the audience and is supported by the audience. But Kelvin Momo does not pay to be a trending topic. The major labels, not the artists, right? Or the producers or the DJ, the major labels themselves, they pay promoters, influencers to make sure that whatever Ngomoya is trending now, because that's their release. They don't do the same for Kelvin Momo. Kelvin Momo is trending because we are tweeting about him ourselves. When you look at the Ngomoya hashtag, that is released by the major label, you can see that these tweets come from a tweet deck. This is what you must tweet. When you look at Kelvin Momo's tweets, you can see that Umunto's Twitter, everybody that you see tweeting about Kelvin Momo is just tweeting for themselves. But inside the major system, Burna, they've got a pecking order. They decide, you know what, Youngstana, he released the best streaming album for 2 years in a row. It is impagi, let's let him wait. Let other guys now come in and everything else. In that time, the people still demand more and more music. In that time where Youngstana is being told to chill a bit, Kelvin Momo drop. Usticks drop. Babalu drop. I drop, and they're dropping independently. Focalistic drop. Doing his own thing under his own momentum. And we have now seen the culmination of major record labels ruining the piano movement.